I'm about to get ready to do a very deep, intricate breakdown and really tap into a higher level on this right here because as you see, this whole movie was called The Island. And what it was about basically rich people who, for instance, they couldn't have children, so they had like their DNA cloned, and their clone would have children, but they, would basically kill them off once they had no longer use. Say like if you needed a heart, you needed a liver or whatever. But I'm about to delve deep into an aspect on a theory I have. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is it's gonna be very deep, so I want you to bear with me. I'm gonna play some clips and I'm gonna chime in. This right here is
Not just yet.
Hey, killing her. This is just nothing but a clone. Pay attention to this.
Congratulations, it's a beautiful girl.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Now, if you remember the Truman Show, and what's so deep about this show is how the Truman Show literally represented a boy who was basically born into the world, but he was adopted by a corporation, and they watched him grow up from birth. Like I said, I'm going to play some clips, and I'm going to chime on in.
We've become bored with watching actors get...
The main character right here who literally scripted the whole Truman Show, name was Christoph. And what's so deep about that, his name was Christoph. And what's so deep about that literally means nothing but the bearing Christ. And when you pay attention to the name True Man, hint true man, like true man, human, true, like the true man. You get where I'm going with this? How they basically saying like he's playing like the role of what they think a human should go through. Hint why the man's name was Christoph, aka bearing Christ, because he basically was playing like the false Messiah. Just pay attention to this.
Give us phony emotions. We're tired of pyrotechnics and special effects. While the world he inhabits is in some respects counterfeit, there's nothing fake about Truman himself. No scripts, no cue cards. It isn't always Shakespeare, but it's genuine. It's a life.
I'm not gonna...
Like basically his whole life, everybody was actors in this man's life. You know what I'm saying? It gets deep, and I'm about to tap into. You see that? And I'm about to tap into this because what I noticed and looking deep, pay attention to this. Like, it's with a lot of these athletes. You can check out my last video I did about the celebrities. I'm gonna post the link in the description. But basically I had exposed how a lot of these celebrities who literally have a German tie, Germany tied and they become Hollywood stars. But I'm really gonna focus on this aspect because Jimmy Butler actually pay attention to these numbers. He was homeless at 13 years old, and in college he wore number 33. Those are Masonic numbers. Now pay attention to this quick little clip and I'm gonna chime on in.
Hid from us.
Now basically, he grew up without his real mom. I think his mother abandoned him, if I'm not mistaken, and basically I got like grafted in by a white family. Pay attention to this.
He stayed upstairs and wouldn't come downstairs and sent Jordan down to get him food. So I guess he thought if he wasn't seen, no one would know he was there.
I felt like if nobody knew I was there, they couldn't get tired of me.
You hear this? Pay attention to this. I'm about to play another clip. We all know about Mike Tyson. Pay attention to this. Notice Cuss is wearing number 33 as well. And you already know Mike Tyson was raised by Cuss. Look at it. You see that too? Let's get another one. It gets deep, man. It gets deep. Can you remember the Blind Side movie? Remember that guy? He was taken in by a white family as well after he was homeless. Mike Tyson was homeless. Jimmy Butler was homeless. This is the real Blind Side. He become a Super Bowl champion.
This Is Us. The Tuohys, a white Memphis family. They adopted Michael Orr in his teens. Orr became one of the most famous offensive tackles in the NFL.
Pay attention to that. Same story. They all get adopted in their teens. Oh, I'm not done with this. You know your boy Floyd Mayweather. What about him? At 16, he went to go live with Don Hale. Let's hear him talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
Floyd is much nicer than what people think. His public persona, when Floyd was an amateur, he talked about how he wanted to be the bad guy. I said, you could be Sugar Ray Leonard. He said, I don't want to be Sugar Ray Leonard. He said, I want to be the bad guy. People will pay to see the bad guy. So when Floyd turned pro, he had that persona of, I'm a bad guy. It's all about the money. It's all about, me. We'll pay to see the bad guy. A Lamborghini. He called me
See, like basically he was living with him as a teenager, I think at 16. If I'm not mistaken, he was living with him as well. But like I said, I'm about to take this thing deep. Watch me chime in. LeBron, let's hear him talk. Same story, no father. The mother already knew he was going to be a great basketball player. Let's keep it rolling.
She was 16 when she had me. The father figure that I was looking for, wasn't ever there. Ever.
Your mom raised you pretty much by herself. Was a teenage mother, unmarried. First of all, do you know your body?
She had to keep throwing clothes away and go buy new ones. That didn't help. The only thing that didn't help cause me kept growing. Every so father and my mother all tied up in one.
Listen to this.
And that's Gloria James.
Same story.
At this point, I don't really need nobody else.
Same story. Let's go into Allen Iverson. Y'all thought I was done? I'm not done. Let's keep it rolling. The same thing. No father is always the same story, and then they all become superstars. Listen to this.
The roots of Iverson's toughness run deep, back to his birth on June 7, 1975, in the racial backwaters of Hampton, Virginia, near Newport News.
Allen Iverson grew up in a tough neighborhood as the child of a teenage mother.
His biological father had already left the family by the time Allen was growing up, and Allen's stepfather was also locked up for several years on drug charges. The violence.
Just pay attention to this. It's the same story. And actually, I ain't going to the clip, but like, cause the documentaries, I gotta delve real deep into it. But they both, LeBron and Allen Iverson's mom said, y'all knew he was going to be a great basketball player when I had him in my arms. LeBron's mother specifically say, so I put the little tights rim higher because I knew he was going to be a basketball player. Same thing with Allen Iverson's mother. She said, I knew he was going to be an athlete off the rip. Football, I got me a little football and basketball player in my arms. You know what I mean? He's 22 inches long. Let's keep this thing rolling. Y'all thought I was done? I'm not finished. Let's go. Let's take it way back to 1992 with Tia and Tamera.
Before they were famous.
And I'm in 7th grade, and I go to Oliver High.
You see that on the show Rising Star? That was prepping the Monarch children at that time. That's what that whole show Rising Star was about. You know what I'm saying? It was about getting all the kids that they was basically like doing like a draft pick, seeing who they was going to become the new face for the reality world stage. Let's keep it rolling.
Children's shows on TV like TGIF for a few
teenagers. What do you think of TV and what it represents for teenagers?
Well, I think there are a few good children's shows on TV like TGIF, Full House. I think they're like Candace. She was actually our role model when we were smaller. We always look at Full House all the time. So my brother got to be on the show. We're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna meet Candace. So it was really cool. But
listen to this. Just listen to this.
like TGIF, the lineup of the shows. They're very like Jaleel. He's a very good role model. I think they're also. I think television has a big impact on teens and children today. If there's some good images on TV, television has a big model. I think they're. Also, I think television has a big impact on teens and children today. Also, I think television has a big impact on teens and children today. If there's some good images on TV, they'll follow them. And if there's some bad images on TV, they're going to follow them also. And
you hear that? Just listen. Just listen to this world stage that we're living on, man. Time and time again. Tia and Tamera, I did a breakdown on them. You can go look at it. My Tia and Tamera breakdown. Like I said, I'm going to actually put the link to the breakdown I did concerning the Hollywood and Germany connection with these celebrities. And I'm going to I knew a guy actually personally who knew Martin. He showed me the picture and everything. He knew Martin as a kid, and Martin was like, when his mama used to babysit him, he said Martin used to tell him when he was like 10, I think he was like 10 or 12. He said that, yeah, man, I'm going to become a really famous celebrity when I get on. I'm going to be the most famous comedian. I'll be really famous. They already be knowing their script, man. You feel what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm actually going to end that right here. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Stay tuned. Much more is coming. Peace.